Last night's attack comes amidst growing concern over the sharp rise in anti-Asian American violence in the country.
LEX 18's Mike Valenti spoke with people in Lexington hoping to combat hate with coalition building.
Anti-Asian racism is nothing new, says the head of UK's China Initiative, Dr. Huajing Maskey.
This is a huge concern.
Dr. Maskey points out that hate and ignorance manifest themselves differently, sometimes in subtle ways.
In our daily lives, basically, as an Asian American, microaggression is just small things that happen on a daily basis to me and all my friends and the people I talk with.
Like being asked over and over, where are you really from? But they can also be more overt and dangerous. The group Stop AAPI Hate received nearly 4,000 reports of anti-Asian incidents since last March.
At the heart of all of this is the coronavirus pandemic.
A recent study showed anti-Asian hate crime in 16 of America's largest cities increased nearly 150% in 2020, with the first spike occurring in March and April amidst a rise in COVID cases and negative stereotyping of Asians relating to the pandemic.
Anti-Asian rhetoric, of course, the xenophobia rhetoric, it directly connects with the COVID-19 pandemic, which includes the former President Donald Trump's habit of blaming the virus on China.
The deputy director of ACLU Kentucky, Amber Duke, says there's a long history in the United States of scapegoating immigrant communities when it comes to public health issues.
So, for example, Irish immigrants were blamed for cholera outbreaks in the 1830s, and Jewish immigrants were blamed for tuberculosis.
Remember, the enemy is the virus. We should be all working together to defeat the virus, not to blame any particular community.
Dr. Chongzhang Wang with the Kentucky Chinese American Association says he hopes authorities in our region are paying attention and working to prevent attacks against Asian American businesses. Duke says it's also an opportunity for people to educate themselves on the history of anti-Asian violence and anti-immigrant sentiment, and for other marginalized groups to come together and stand as one.
I think that, what folks in the AAPI community are facing is part of the same, racist system that, Black Americans are confronted with in this country.
State Representative Attica Scott voiced her own support today, tweeting, "To my Asian and Pacific Islander siblings here in Kentucky and across our country, I love you, and you belong here." In Lexington, Mike Valenti, LEX 18 News.